Hello, everyone. It's Jeanne, your pharmacist here at Revival Farms. And I get the question a lot regarding a full spectrum CBD oil and a broad spectrum CBD oil, the difference and which one you should choose. So let's go over that today. A full spectrum CBD oil, that is what comes directly off the plants that we grow right here on our farm. So this is going to be things that are created just in nature. A full spectrum CBD oil will contain CBD as the main component, which is a non-psychoactive cannabinoid found in high concentrations in the plant. It will contain cannabinoids such as CBG, CBC, CBN, and trace amounts of THC. The THC concentration will be less than 0.3%, and that is the legal limit based on the 2018 hemp bill. There will also be terpenes in that full spectrum CBD oil, things that give it the scent and the flavor, and they enhance the therapeutic effect. And these terpenes are the same compounds that a lot of times you can find in foods and spices, things like citrus, clove, cinnamon, cumin. That's what gives the full spectrum oil this strong taste and flavor because it's loaded in these natural compounds. And then you also have flavonoids, which have antioxidant properties and support health and with a lot of benefits. So these compounds together create an entourage effect, helping the oil work synergistically together. So now a broad spectrum CBD oil. A broad spectrum is similar to a full spectrum with the key difference there is no detectable THC in the product. And we need to be very careful when we say no. Is it 0% or could it be a 0.01%? That brings up the importance of checking the certificate of analysis. It will still have CBD and other cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids, but there may be limited benefit for the entourage effect because the THC has been removed from this product. So it's not a complete entourage effect of something that would come off the plant. So that may bring up the question is, well, how do you make a broad spectrum CBD if it's different than what comes off the plant? This can be done by a couple different processes. Two of them, the first one could be a supercritical fluid chromatography, and it's an advanced method that uses CO2 to separate THC from the plant from all the other compounds while preserving the integrity. It's the most common way, but it's also expensive. Another method would be fractional distillation using solvent-based techniques to remove the THC, and it'll leave the other compounds, but they can sometimes be affected in the quality. And then you may also have some solvents in there, which a lot of people are wanting. More natural, solventless product. So that's another thing to consider. So the key difference is if we put this out into a chart, the full spectrum CBD will contain THC. A broad spectrum will not contain THC. A full spectrum will have the full entourage effect due to all the compounds. A broad spectrum will have a partial entourage effect because the THC is removed. A full spectrum is best for those comfortable with traces amount of THC and seeking maximal benefit, while a broad spectrum is for those avoiding THC entirely but still wanting that cannabinoid profile. Drug testing concerns with the full spectrum CBD oil is a risk of testing positive due to the THC, and a broad spectrum CBD will have minimum risk of testing positive because it has had the THC removed. At Revival Farms, the way that we consider our broad spectrum is by using isolates. And that's another way that you can create a broad spectrum is to simulate that full spectrum with using the isolate cannabinoids and terpenes to create an entourage with those in combination. And our Serene tincture here at Revival Farms does just that, using the isolates with no THC. While it's impossible to create something that occurs naturally in nature, this gives the benefit of all the cannabinoids and terpenes, just using isolates and placing them together. You still get a lot of the great benefits. It's just not the complete entourage that you would get out of a full spectrum. But it really works well for our customers, and it's similar to what we're doing with a broad spectrum, is removing that THC. So our takeaway on that: choose a full spectrum CBD if 1, you're comfortable with trace amounts of THC, 2, you want a full entourage effect for maximum potency, and 3, you're not subject to drug testing or strict legal restrictions. Choose a broad spectrum CBD if 1, you want to avoid THC entirely due to drug testing or personal preference or legal concerns. 2, you still want the benefits of the cannabinoids and terpenes just without THC. Or 3, you're new to CBD and you prefer a THC-free option to start. So while the full spectrum and the broad spectrum, they offer unique benefits, finding the right one depends on your individual needs, lifestyles, and preferences. We're committed to bringing high quality CBD products and transparency with lab testing. So whether you're choosing a robust, full spectrum, or you still seek the full spectrum benefits but a THC-free option, our medical staff here is willing to answer any questions you may have in selecting the right product for yourself. So reach out with concerns. We're here to help you find the right CBD solution for your needs.